Yeah, Ramsey's divine, baby. We gonna give it to him, yeah. Check it. Let's do it like my attitude is changing to something you call fierce. I bring the truth to the game like Paul Pierce. I wear the green and white, but not the jersey. That pearly white brought green throughout the night early. I'm worthy to carry the torch, walk the path for them late great hustlers and talk the math and add to the game like flour to the cane. I'm bad to the frame, there's power to be gained. I'm strange as the black pearl, I'm black rain. My blackness unforgivable, the black man's pain, but the black woman's dream. I freak schemes and teach teams how to reach themes. You must crown me the king, bow to the street messiah or become one. If you're not a fiend when I meet you, you will become one. Check my street features, street sweep you with a sound. Naturally underground, figure I'm a deep creature. Street preacher, place donations on your plate that's so raw. The feds in the place turn red in the face, burn bread in your face. I'm so calm lately under pressure. I throw them bullets like Tom Brady. Lately recall words from them 80s gangsters that never broke street code. Now they play these pranksters. Now roll that like that, smoke that. 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 Picture that, scripture that.
That's right, it's wicked. That's life, I live it.
Picture that, scripture that.
That's right, it's wicked. That's life, I live it.
It's strange when you approach life, you approach death. You stress smoking weed till there's no roach left. Lost like a ball player when his coach left. Look deep inside, cause outside is hopeless. Haters wanna bring me outside my focus. Little do they know I live outside emotion. Never standing still when I'm outside in motion. Scale take mail like a criminal postman. Subliminal criminal general, rare mineral, jewel. Yeah, you scared too well. Stories you tell, time wasted, hours lost. If bullshit was electric, your ass would be a power source. I'm the source of the hustler spirit possessed. Fuck with my mail, you must be addressed. I won't be oppressed, stressed, thinking smarter. Either you're a stupid fuck or there's something in the drinking water. Oh, Diablo flow sweeter than snake charms. Can't lift my weight will break arms. When I'm done storming, there will be a great calm. Honey drips from my lips for what I spit, create bombs. This song belongs next to King David's great psalms. Everything the law makes right, my crew makes wrong. Now roll that like that, smoke that. 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 Picture that, scripture that.
That's right, it's wicked. That's life, I live it.
Picture that, scripture that.
That's right, it's wicked. That's life, I live it.
You can't teach what I speak, achieve what I reach. On behalf of my seed eating, you will bleed when I reach. On behalf of my greed peaking, you will be what I eat. Mr. Villain, I'm comfortable with 500 million, not relaxing these days at all. I need some silence. Don't sleep, toothpicks under my eyelids. I'm high, kid. Pray for your power and watch as I take mine. Thoughts are too strong, a tsunami, it couldn't shake mine. A great mind, about to shoot to the roof. My words appear strange, you ain't used to the truth. You just declared war, now you seeking the truth. I'm seeking to rule the world when I speak in the booth. Listen to the vision, my game is risen. Knock you off track like a train collision. If your faith is in the money, we the same religion. The poor life is hell, it's the same as prison. I'd rather wear the chains of riches. They stretch further, catch murder. Yeah, I will flame you bitches. It's a shame you snitching, spitting at the cops. The code of the streets should be written on the hearts. But some have been snake bitten, roaring like lions. Y'all need to stop lying. Y'all make great kittens, and kittens make great pickings. Like a Chinese restaurant, I turn kittens into good chicken. Roxbury hood pimping. I carry a hood wherever I go. Break my leg, the whole hood limp. Now roll that like that, smoke that. 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 Now roll that like that, smoke that.
All right. Welcome to the Lions Den.
Wait, we got one more.
Oh, you got two? Oh, okay. All right, we got two by Lex Vortex. Go ahead, man.
Actually, this is my man Out the Blue featuring me on the song.
Right. Dark Side Takeover today in the Lions Den.
So special.
Sleeping on me till my dreams come true. Ring the alarm, they keep sleeping on snooze. Soon as I hit the stage, they hit the lights on cue. I hear a voice in my ear saying that mic's on you. Let that light shine bright on you. You don't need tats blue. Don't let them write on you. Like right on blue, be icon blue. Understanding the struggle, but you fight on through. I spit hot fire, I'm in die-line booth. Every swing hit, Scion proof. Tryna live fast like you Dion proof. Can I let bygones be bygones and bygones too? Loading up these verses cover any deep issue. That ghetto gospel, how many let it get through? But these rip through any deep tissue. Get a heat missile from these epistles. Getting sentenced to condemnation when it's hard to get back all that time you wasted. Just be a free spirit and don't die complacent. Find the love of your life and you can fly adjacent. And I can still hear my mama's voice playing in the background. You better clean up your act now. And remember I taught you never back down. It's kinda hard when we look at where we at. Heard I have a beautiful family from a prophet. And it wasn't nothing the devil could do to stop it. I'm proud of my kids, I keep their pictures in my wallet. I ain't graduate, but I picture them all in college. So now I'm setting standards higher up. I know I ain't the example, I'd have lined it up. Baby girl on face, she can't find her pup. Plus my son that climbed the tree and he all kind of stuck. They problems different, they having all kind of fun. Hide and seek was so the cops couldn't find the gun. They find crack and Lord knows where we winding up. I ain't know if a light flash leave me blind or what. Now we knocking down obstacles, they lining up. Cause hard work pays off when you grinding up. So if you grind with me, then you grind with us. Long as we grind together, then we climbing up. I swear to God, it's like a light don't shine bright enough. We can't even find the butt for the time to shine it up. Just get on your race and run it with your blinders up. Get on your marathon and run until your time is up. And I can still hear my mama's voice playing in the background. You better clean up your act now. And remember I taught you never back down. It's kinda hard when we look at where we at now.
The world is yours, blue, it's open for the taking. Keep your gun smoking for the bacon. These haters hoping they can break us, but we keep it moving. Too much motion for these fakers. Throw them in the ocean. Lower your emotions, stay focused on $1 million notions. These hoes is nothing but trolls posting. The black hole chosen to rise, they can't see it. They vain make believe as gods closing their eyes. They all up in their feelings, dealing with realism. True wisdom of a villain is dealing with realism. Take power, build wisdom. Shoot jism in the face of this third dimensional prison. Give them intentionalism. The dark force wrapped in the prism. Pray to Satan through the music. Get clapped with the rhythm. This is true. Economics, immaculate black algorithms. Space age gorillas, we kill killers. Sacrifice everything for future generations. They will worship us, ancestor veneration.
And I can still hear my mama's voice playing in the background. You better clean up your act now. And remember I taught you never back down. It's kinda hard when we look at where we at now.
Yeah. All right, man. All right. Welcome to the Lions Den. Go ahead. This is the Lex Vortex Dark Side Takeover. I'm gonna introduce myself real quick. This is JJ7000. That's Sister Karima, and we got Brother Kamish. Go ahead, Lex. Get to your thing. Go ahead, do your thing, bro.
Yeah. Shout out, peace to everybody. Yeah, man. That's
Blue, one of the hottest young and up and coming artists in the game right now with Mama's Voice. Make sure y'all check out his music page at Out the Blue 40. You know what I'm saying? And also check out where he be over there getting with the battle rap, the Vortex Battle Rap League. And by the way, any MCs that want to represent they crew, whether it be the Moors, Israelites, Comedians, whatever, y'all know we got the Battle Rap League. And, my man Blues already done killed everybody from every crew. So ain't no Israelites and forth to represent and no one or Moors. If you were MC, I tried to get Commission, but he said he wasn't really a battle rapper to represent for the Moors. So if you are MC, hit me up, come present your cue. We started online battle rap and we got the conscious battle rap kind of thing going. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of, imitators, but we are the innovators. So yeah, check out the Week's Battle Rap League also on YouTube. So
Okay.
Wait, hold on. We need to collaborate. We got the battle rap group, so that I create. You know, we can probably run it or whatever because I ain't really doing nothing. But you could probably, do something with it.
oh yeah, most definitely. Yes, most definitely. Um so yes, that but today we're just here. I wanted to put together like a full presentation and everything, but it was kind of short notice, so we kind of just freestyle and having a discussion. But I want to talk about, the nature of God or what people call God and the identity of black people and just give y'all some opinions about, the nature of God, the, holy texts, ancient, the Bible, the Quran, the symbolism, and, who we are, So first off, I'm going to just put it out like this. I don't believe that black people are Asiatics at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there wasn't no Asiatics with dark skin, but I believe this is a self-hate doctrine that stems from psychological self-hate, subliminal, subconscious self-hate. We are African people. We're from the African continent, sub-Saharan Africans, and the Western Asiatics are different people that, in a culturally, and these people have been a problem for African people for almost the last 2,000, probably 3,000 years. And, and that would include the people we call Israelites and all these people from this region. You know what I mean? They've been attacking. They were a Kemet for thousands of years. They've been attacking Africa and attacking black people for thousands of years. All problems of Africa and our people come from these foreign Asiatic invaders. And since we were given their, once they came into power, the Bible and Quran are their tools of domination. You know what I'm saying? This is the belief. We're going to talk about it. Not that the original concepts in the Bible and the Quran belong to them. You know what I'm saying? The Bible and the Quran are tools, political tools of domination. All right. I'm not saying everything in the books are untrue, but these are social political tools of domination. These two, the Abrahamic faiths is the number one tool of world domination of Eurasians, mainly Europeans. Right? It is the number one programming tool of the earth to have people's mind become subservient and serve other people's social political agenda. And I think that what we're unable to differentiate is the wisdom in the books versus the social political aspects of the book.
And that's why I want to talk about the nature of God, because um, people seem to feel like some of these books fell out of the heavens and every word in them is to be honored as the word of the Almighty Creator. And anybody with any type of study in common sense know this is not true. Uh, Consciousness, the source, never wrote a book. But men can be inspired and tap into that consciousness and relate, words is trying to point us to the nature of that consciousness. But the problem becomes is when we ignore the social political ramifications and we start to slander my father, my mother, father, and say that they were co-signing certain things, um, which was a social political agenda. And so I bring forth to you that, well, let me read this real quick. In John, the book of John 1 and 1, it says, "Then this is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all." And I believe that statement. When we're talking about the nature of consciousness, I believe it is, for lack of a better word, infinite. That that's the best way we can describe it. And remember, when we're trying to describe the nature of what y'all call God, which we call infinite consciousness, we're gonna fall short every time. So anytime you try to put the indescribable, the unfathomable, the unlimited into words, you're gonna fall short right from the beginning. All right. So this is how we know that. That's why with any holy, so-called holy book, you have to rightly divide the word, right? So you got to know the difference between what is symbolic, what is the true wisdom that expresses consciousness, and what was the social political agenda of the people who may have rightness. So I submit to you that consciousness is the highest form of infinite love, and it is all good. You know what I mean? The structure in which consciousness works is for all good. It's for all love. It's prosperity. It's joy. It's love. It's wealth. It's power. It's immortality. It's all those things are the original intention or the nature of consciousness, or what people call God. God never ordained a war. That is slander. Never. If you giving your children good gifts, how much more my Father in heaven? God has never ordained a murder. God has never ordained thievery. Consciousness has never is racist. It never had a favorite people. That's racism. That's a social political agenda of the people that's writing it. Because while they may have some wisdom and knowledge, they also have a social political situation going on, and that is the human experience over land and resources. And consciousness is not involved in that, because consciousness says there's enough for everyone. Infinite love, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of slander against my mother, father, in terms of through religion and people taking things hook, line, and sinker. God is not in a book. Never was been, never will be, never has been. Now, when it comes to these writings, they all come from priesthoods, and we really got to realize that. All right. The world is always, to some degree, been ran by what we call the priesthoods. The priesthoods are organizations, fraternities, call them secret societies, whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? Just like now, you have a scientific priesthood today. They don't call them a priesthood today, but when you hear this is the consensus of the scientific world, that's the priesthood. And they are involved in, they got names and organizations, but these are the wise men of the world. So every nation had a priesthood. And back today, those priesthoods are called scientists. Back in the older days, the priests were the scientists. These are the people that was studying these things and You know what I'm saying? Coming with understanding or had the secrets to nature that they didn't give to everyone. Now, in these priesthoods, you have basically two different factions. You know what I'm saying? That's why we talk about the dark side and light side, and we play off the kind of Star Wars thing. It's just a symbology to express. So you got a group of wise people who believe that have knowledge, and they believe, well, we got knowledge because we were chosen to have knowledge whatsoever, and they take what's called the draconian mode, like we were born to rule. Is right. And the reason why we have that knowledge is because we were chosen. Natural selection gave us the knowledge, or God gave us the knowledge. And so other people, they don't have it because in the hierarchy of nature, they're supposed to be our servants. It's not true, but this is the path take. All right. And then there's the other side of the priesthood that says no. Even though our brothers and sisters are maybe weaker or maybe in an ignorant state, all beings are supposed to get the knowledge and evolve. We're not supposed to take advantage of the ignorant or the weak. We're supposed to, use our knowledge to uplift them from a childhood state or whatever state they in their evolution into godhood or into, being grown. And so humanity is looked at as a child in the eyes of the wise. You know what I'm saying? Some have grown up, some haven't. But even on the good side of the priesthoods, they still don't believe that all secrets should be revealed to everyone because it's too sacred and too powerful. They're not hiding it from you to enslave you on what we would call the good side. They just give a baby a shotgun. So, for instance, if you look at um, the modern day world, people may see nuclear power as something new, but this is something like the splitting of an atom, right? Now, that is a knowledge, but it is a dangerous knowledge. So, let's just say, for instance, the ancients knew about the splitting of the atom and nuclear power. Well, they're not gonna go teach Ray and Pookie down the street. Haven't been raised up to a level where they can work unselfishly. So what they're gonna do? Create a nuclear bomb. Instead of providing the world with free energy, you go create a nuclear bomb or something because you're selfish. So the priesthoods in all ancient nations were set up. This is the foundation of what people call masonry. There's no one group of evil masonry is a tradition that comes out of Africa, that comes out of Egypt, Sumeria, and even Israel. It's a society of people who consider themselves builders and have sacred knowledge. Now, within those priesthoods, there is good and bad people. Okay? There is good and bad people. The bad people use the knowledge for selfish reasons. All right. And so when you entered a priesthood of initiation, you had to prove yourself worthy of knowledge and that you would not use it for selfish gain. You had to prove your character and you had to go through certain things to correct your character and personality so they would know once we teach split atoms, you're not going to go out here using a nuclear bomb. You're going to go out there and provide energy for people. And so when it comes to the nature of God, there's also things that empower people. You know, people who understand certain sciences of the mind can dominate people's mind. And this is what they like to label black magic. I don't like that term, but like if you know certain things about the nine, you can dominate people. You can manipulate people and you can manipulate events in nature. All right, with certain knowledge. So on both sides of the fence, good and evil, knowledge is hid for a reason. And that's why it's called sacred, because it is, although it's for everyone, it's only given to people who are deemed worthy and have deemed themselves unselfishness. So they had rituals. This is the nation of rituals, like in the voodoo system and the other system. When you got initiated, you went through rituals, symbolic rituals, and test, right? Test. And you didn't even know when you were being tested sometime. And you didn't even know what you was learning. And what the priesthood was used was trickery. Okay? And so they wrote in a way to cover, right? When they give lessons, they write in a way to cover the meaning. And this is the trick of initiation. So I always tell people, if anyone has ever seen The Last Dragon, one of my favorite movies. If you ain't seen it yet, Bruce Leroy, The Last Dragon. If you haven't seen the movie, go watch it, because the movie's a great depiction of the initiation process. Bruce Leroy is this dude, black dude in the Kung Fu. He has his Chinese teacher as a master, and he's searching for the master, right? And his teacher gives him an amulet and tells him where the master is. All right, and says, when you see the master, give him this amulet, and then he'll know I sent you. So then Bruce Leroy goes on this big long journey searching for the master or whatever, and he runs and realizes that where his teacher sent him was nothing but a fortune cookie machine that was created called the master that just printed fortune cookies. And so when he went there and he found out, he went through all this stuff searching for the master and found out that his teacher had lied to him. This is what I mean by the ancients taught by deceiving their disciples. That may sound a little funny, but they're not really lying to them, but they're deceiving them on purpose in order to teach them a lesson that they couldn't exactly just tell them. Okay? Tell someone something. You could tell someone about God. You could tell someone about whatever. But the gnosis of it all, it's a personal experience that you have to have. No one can teach you about God. No one can teach you about Jesus. We can try to, but until you have and walk through the path and have the personal experience, you don't know God. Until you run into the burning bush, you're just reading words. And so when Bruce Leroy comes back, teacher, he's crying and moaning, Master, why have you done this to me? You sent me on this dummy mission to find the master, and you gave me this. And he asked him, he said, what is this amulet you gave me? And he said, yeah, this is something my auntie gave me. A true master will only use this for a cup holder, maybe. And Bruce Leroy is real confused. And he's like, why have you done this to me? And he said, Leroy, there's one place you still haven't looked. And only there you'll find it. And so, to make a long story short, at the end of the day, Bruce Leroy, throughout the movie, everyone was trying to tell him that he was the master, and he would deny it because he just didn't understand self. You know what I'm saying? But finally, when did he realize he was the master, or the I am? And you'll see they even played on that in the movie. They used the Bible or the Greek, I think, therefore I am, just like Moses said I am. So at the end of the movie, Bruce Leroy is getting in a fight with Show Nuff. Now, Show Nuff is the bad black dude who he represents the demiurge consciousness, the ego. He knows, but he's inverting the energy for evil. He's negative, but he's actually already in self-realization. But he has inverted the energy for negativity. But he's in more realization than Bruce Leroy. But Bruce Leroy does not realize he's the master or the master within him until he starts getting his ass beat. So when him and Shonuff are engaging in the fight, And then you see the symbolism. That's why I tell you it's all about. There it is, right there. When he grabbed his hand and he asked him who's the master. But anyway, so Show Enough is beating him up, and he grabs him by the head and he starts dunking him in water, drowning him. Every time he dunks him in the water and he pulls him out of the water, he asks him, "Who's the master?" And when I say who's the master, you better say Show Enough. He dunks him in the water, pulls him out. He asks him who's the master. He's still resisting. He keep dunking in the water. Now, obviously, you see the symbolism of the water. He's dunking him in the waters of consciousness. Now, as he's drowning in those waters, all these memories started coming back to him of what people were saying to him. So he remembers when Vanity, and I use that clip all the time, when she looked at him and she said, I'm glad to have a real kung fu master as my bodyguard. And he says, I'm no master. And she says, you sure look like a master to me. And then he remembers all these words that are being said. And finally, the last time Show Enough dunked water and pull him up out of the water, he has a glow on him. He's coming to self-realization. And you can see the look in his eyes. And Show Enough goes to punch him again. He says, who's the master? And he tries to punch him. And he grabs his fist. And he looks at him and says, Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya. In other words, in English, he says, I am. And he crushed his fist. And in short term, he beats Show Enough's behind. That's called self-realization. Just the same thing that happened to Moses when he goes to the top of the mountain and he meets God. You're reading the story, and the reason why I told you earlier the way the ancient priests wrote is to deceive. That's why when you read in the book of Proverbs, it says the glory of the Lord is to conceal a thing, because I can't tell you about Jesus. I can't tell you about, I can, but it's only when you have that moment of Bruce Leroy, when you have your own personal experience, that you will be able to talk about God. Other than that, you just reading, yapping, intellectualism, and blah, blah, blah. Until you feel that covering come over you and you get that glow of sensation and you are able to cause change and conformity, until you're able to heal the sick and walk on water, until you're hearing the voice of God clearly, you're just a neophyte. You're on the path of initiation. Until you realize Allah is closer to you than your own jugular vein, like the Quran says, which means it's your very essence. You're just talking. All right? So I say that to say this, and I want to pull this up real quick. So at the end of the day, all these writings are symbolic. And the reason why they're symbolic is because the ancients had a knowledge of what's called the subconscious mind. Words, so when we're talking about the intangible things that cannot be understood by the brain or the intellect, you know what I'm saying? That's why words can only lead you to that direction. Symbols are more powerful than words, because the subconscious mind sees in symbols. We know this today in psychology. You know, if anyone wants to look it up, we're not going to go into that, but you know, you can do a whole study on what's called the subconscious mind versus the conscious mind. But to make long story short, only your awakening state right now, you think you're awake and you're operating, that's only 5% of who you are, right? You already form habits, what you see around you. 95% of you is on auto programming. This is what we call the dark side. All right. This is one of the reasons why we use the symbolism of darkness, because God dwells in darkness. All things come out of the darkness. The seeding ground of creation is darkness. Now, when it manifests, that's called light. So when you look at a person, whether it be me or someone else, and that person says, hey, I'm Dan, and I like chocolate, and I believe in this, and I do that. that is that's just the out of person. That's just the mask of the person. All right. But who they really are is in their subconscious. That's what really makes them up. And we don't know what's in our subconscious a lot unless we really study. Now, what's in your subconscious? A lot of things. You got genetic memory, what we call epigenetics, that you inherit from your parents. You have the teachings of your mother. You know what I'm saying? You have what your teachers told you, your experience from the ages of 1 to 7. You were being molded. Your beliefs and your affinities and your taste and all of that, that's being molded. And you had nothing to do with it. So most of everything you believe, the things you tend to like, and the things that these were given to you even before you was born. That's what says I was molded and shapen in iniquity. So your mother didn't mean she wasn't doing it on purpose, but she might have been ignorant. She put some ignorance in you. Your grandmother did. Your friends did. Your teachers did. The world did. The news did. The television did. The cartoons did. And this is what makes you up, and you're not aware of it. So now you're just saying, oh, I believe in this. So we were born with an affinity towards our oppressors' religions. That's why y'all feel so attached to the Bible and the Quran and stuff like that. Think about it. You started going to church. Grandma took you to church when you was young. And then it's even in your genetic memory. So why wasn't you able to totally leave Christianity? And why did you become a Hebrew Israelite or a Muslim? Because it's still attached to your subconscious programming. The fear of God, what is truth? It is in your genetic memory. We inherited, surely we have inherited lies and misbelief. Now, how can I prove that with the Bible? I want to show something real quick, and I've done this many times before. Give me one to pull this up. So this is all related to me trying to relate what the mystery systems are all about. So ancient people were not as ignorant like the atheists and evolution say. They had high science. They understood these things. They understood the different parts of man, the spirit, you know what I'm saying, and the subconscious mind. So basically, when you say spirit, you're talking about the subconscious part of the mind, basically, the seeding ground of creation. Okay? And so this mystery school's about. So all this stuff people talking about, oh, this person is a Mason and he belongs to the Boule and all this. It's all that all really came from conspiratory white Christians. That's the funny thing about it. And just to clear this up, y'all, college fraternities are not Masons. All right, you don't have Pi, Alpha, Beta, and all that. They're not Masons. They're fraternities, but they're not Freemasons. They're not free and accepted Masons. So all these organizations together say they're Masons. No, a Greek fraternity is not Freemasonry. That's a fraternity, though. It's a brotherhood, and fraternity is always the highest form of people getting together with like minds. You know what I'm saying? Even the Hebrew Israelite community fraternity, they just don't know it. It's just disorganized. But the people who operate in high science, they organize it. And they get those people together and they do business together and stuff like this. So secret societies have no basis in evil. And the funny thing about that is, you know, according to some of the work of Ivan Van Sertima and Shaking It Up, it was actually the Moors who actually introduced Masonry in Europe, where they got certain knowledge to use it. That's the funny part. Because at one point, the Moors became the custodians of even the Egyptian knowledge as taught to us by Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. They inherited a priesthood. And they went up into Europe and they initiated those into, just like the Melkite Coptics initiated the Greeks into the Egyptian mysteries under Ptolemy and all of them. So you want to know how they got those mysteries and why they started lodges and then said, "Oh, now that you gave it to us," and then factions of Europeans, masonry said, "We got it. Now we can't. Now we're gonna keep it from them." But it was the Moors who introduced them to the mysteries in Europe, which is very ironic. But the mysteries themselves are not evil. So when certain European factions got a hold of the knowledge, yeah, and they remember they ass kicked by the Moors, they said, "Oh, thank you. Now we're gonna hit you over the head and conceal it." That's a faction of Freemasonry. You know what I'm saying? In that. But Freemasonry is rooted in Egypt and in the ancients, in the voodoo system. Even throughout the world, you'll find this initiatory system. I'm saying there's nothing evil about it. That's why I wanted to explain that earlier. Now, to further emphasize that, let me pull this up. Because people always talk about secrets society evil. The Bible was written by a secret society. Nobody knows the authors of these books, and it's easily discernible when you know. People talk about the Masons, and the Bible was written by Masons, and I'm gonna prove that to you right now. Give me a second. So I brought this up before. The Bible is Masonic. All right. So let me share my screen here. Where was I? Okay. Let me know if you can see my. Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right. So everyone knows the famous quote, "The mystery of the kingdom is given unto you, but unto them it is not given." Okay? That right there lets you know that what we're talking about is an initiatory mystery system. That the teachings of Jesus were for some in the inner court and some on the outer court. All right. So when you look up that word, it's the Greek word mysterion, and it tells you right from the beginning. The first thing it says is hidden thing, secret, mystery. Generally, mystery, religious secrets, confounded only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. That's Masonry, family. That's an initiatory system. It's called the mystery systems, and every great civilization had it. So when people, it confuses me when people talk about Jesus and then they start talking about, oh, we're all being controlled by these secret societies. Evil. Well, Jesus was a part of a secret society. Well, in the story, I'm not going to get into whether he was literal or personal, but the people that are writing this, which no one knows who they are, because all scholarship would tell you that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John was not written by anybody named Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and there's no evidence of that. And the book of Mark is considered to be the oldest one, and all of them are kind of like feeding off that. That's what they say in the secular scholarship. So who wrote it? The priest, people that's a part of this initiatory system, whoever they may be. A hidden purpose or counsel. If you go down, it even tell you in rabbinic writings, it denotes the mystic or hidden sense. Oh, Lex, you talking about what is this Christian mysticism, brother? And like this is what I'm saying, how crazy it gets. Jesus himself is a mystic. In rabbinic writing, it denotes the mystic or hidden sense, an image, a form, or scene, a vision. So when you go down to the more definitions, it's musterion from a derivative, and it means to shut the mouth. So the root word of the word is a word that means to shut the mouth through the idea of silence imposed by initiation into religious rights. Now, that's indisputable, family. I didn't make that up. To shut the mouth. And this goes back to what I was telling y'all about the priesthood and the way priesthoods work and initiatory rights work. The secrecy is to protect the information. That's the original form of priesthood, not to control. But there's a faction of people on the earth who want to control. But it's not everybody that's in a secret society. That's why we play on the Star Wars thing, like the Sith and the Jedi. That's basically what you're dealing with. The Sith and the Jedi, the only difference, they both have the same knowledge. They both understand how the Force works. One is selfless and the other is selfish. And how did the selfish get that knowledge? They either stole it or someone mistakenly gave it to them, but they wasn't ready yet. They hadn't gone through the proper channels to get anything. I want to show you here. Because people, and like I said, I'm just freestyling, going through all of this, and then we'll open it up and conversate or whatever. People always talking about, oh, these Masons are Luciferians. Oh my God. Jesus is Lucifer. Okay? Lucifer is a symbolic title that means light bearer. It was symbolized by the planet Venus at one point and the sun at one point. Venus rises before the sun. So they used to call it the herald, the light bearer, the one who was announcing the coming of the sun, which John the Baptist also plays a role in that symbolism. So this is also related to astrotheology. That's why when you read the Bible, it says John bear witness and bear records of that light. He was not that light, but bear witness of that light. That's Venus. But also in other circles, it's the sun itself. How can we prove that? We go to 2 Peter in 1, family. This is what it says. 2 Peter 1:19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy. Let me blow it up a little bit. Whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your heart. Wait a minute. The day star. Anybody know what the day star is? It's the sun or Venus. How do we know that? Well, all we got to do is look up the Greek word right there. The word is phosphoros. That's where we get the word phosphorus, by the way. And if you look up phosphorus, you'll find some interesting things about phosphorus, which is a vital nutrient of the human body. What does it mean? Day star. Light bringing, giving light. The planet Venus, the morning star, day star. Metaphorically, Christ. So when Peter says until the day star arises in your heart, you know what he could have literally put there as a word? Lucifer. Until Lucifer rises in your heart. That's the morning star. That's the sun. That's also Venus. That's in the book of Revelation. It says, I am the bright and morning star. In the new translations, they actually put Lucifer there. But we got to leave childish things, family. This is not a literal story. I'm not saying there's nothing in there literal. It's a symbolic story, and it's the story of the evolution of consciousness of man. Lucifer, what? Why? Because in a sense, if we take you to John and 1:1, you'll realize Lucifer is the fallen light. And that's Jesus in every one of us. Right? The word becoming flesh. That's leaving the Father, or the highest form of consciousness, and taking on a form of bodily form. They tell us this, that we all have what's called light bodies. So light, in a sense, fell from the highest consciousness into the third dimension and took on flesh. How do we know that? Well, you can say, well, that's just talking about Christ and no one else. Well, then why does the book say the mystery of Christ in you? Which again, you see the word mystery there. And it said the mystery of Christ has been held for ages. So it wasn't. So if it was the mystery of Christ, even before the story of Christ came, what was the mystery in you? That we are the manifestation of that consciousness. So when you read the story of Christ, oh yeah, I want to show y'all this, by the way, before I go any further about this whole secret society thing. They say them brothers in masonry took an oath. Really? And I don't take oaths. Anybody take an oath is took an oath to the devil. Well, they must not know Christ. You go to the book of Hebrews 7:28. Did Christ take an oath? I guess he's a Mason. Where is it at? Hold on. All right. We'll start at 18. For there is verily a disannulling of the commandment going before the weakness and the unprofitableness thereof. For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing in of a better hope did, by the way which we draw nigh unto God, insomuch as not without an oath he was a priest, and insomuch as not without an oath he was a priest. For those priests were made without an oath, but this with an oath, by him that said unto him, the Lord swear and will not repent, thou art a priest forever under the order of Melchizedek. What's the order of Melchizedek, people? It's a priesthood. So this is showing you that this, when we're talking about Jesus and his character, it's a symbolic of joining the order of Melchizedek. And in order to join the order of Melchizedek, you got to take the oath. The order of Melchizedek is a real priesthood. It exists today. All right? It's an initiatory system. So I guess Jesus is an evil Mason. We got to grow up. How else do we know? I want to show y'all something. Do I have it up? But Paul said. In Corinthians. But you got to be able to recognize the language and symbolism to know that this was written by people in secret societies. These are Masons, so-called, or builders. It wasn't written by common people. Where is it at? So let's look at the language of this character called Paul real quick. And I'll show to you that he's a part of a society, whoever this is. He's telling you that he's a part of a secret society of builders. Hold on, where's it at? All right, let's just start right here. Who then is Paul? Who is Apollos? But ministers by whom ye believed, even as the Lord gave to every man. I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave us the increase. So then, neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but God that gives the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one. Now this is interesting. And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. That's really talking about the principle of reaping and sowing, a fabric, something that's in the universe is a universal law. Laborers together with God, ye are God's husbandry, ye are God's building. Ye are God's building. And that goes back to us being the temple of this light, of that fell down into the third dimensional realm. You are the temple of the Holy Spirit. The word manifests that came from the highest consciousness. So God is actually you. But you have a personality or ego that is separate from God through your physicality, through your brain, your biocomputer. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a what? Wise master builder. Now, anyone who don't know the language would think that was just there by accident. Now, I could go into the Greek and pull up Master Builder and show you more, but you do that yourself. That's Masonic language. The builders, the people who build these temples and build the pyramids and all this stuff, they are the master builders. But there's the people who build the temples physically, but then the real temple is the temple of man. I have laid the foundation. That's Masonic talk. That's secret initiation talk. And another buildeth thereon. Okay? So Paul is a Mason by definition. He's a wise master builder. That's indisputable, family. That's indisputable. So we got to realize that it's in the symbolism and the language. Now, what is the consciousness that we're supposed to have? Let me stop sharing for a second. What is the consciousness we're supposed to have? Are we supposed to be looking up in the sky for God? Is that what Jesus taught? Is that what the disciples? Does anyone in the book really teach that? So what I want to relate to you is when you hear words like God said this and God said that and all of that, God is not writing. The priests are personifying the voice of the laws of nature and karmic laws. Wisdom is the principal thing. And so let me go to John. I want to go back to John 1:1 for a second to show you, because this has to do with identity. Are we Israelites? Are we Moors? Aboriginals? No, family. That's all social constructs created by the enemy to divide humanity. Let's go back. Actually, this is why we say we're rebuilding the Tower of Babel. So let's go back to Genesis. I think what is it? Is it Genesis 10? I think I want to go. It might be 11. All right, here's the plot. And this is why the Gnostics label. Now, I want y'all to understand this. The thing to understand about the priesthoods, the secret societies, is all of what you're seeing, they believe and know that the world of appearances, what you're looking outside, is only a reflection of the things that's going on inside of the consciousness of God, which is in you. So when you're reading these stories, this is an inner story of your journey. So whether you're talking about God or the devil, these are two forces inside of you, even out of alignment. So when you hear people talk about things like the demiurge or the false god, this is God's ego being represented. When you're talking about Satan, in opposite, in the Gnostic text, they would say that there was this demiurge. And the demiurge was this god who was created by his mother Sophia, who broke certain laws. She did not consult her other counterpart, the father. And so she kind of gave this premature birth to this being that they call Yaldabaoth, right? And he didn't know his origin. I'm just giving a quick of the story. And he was ignorant of his origin, and he thought that he was the Almighty, the only one. And in the Gnostic text, he's the one that said, I am God and there's none other before me. This is also a depiction of your ego. Your false self. You think you have an existence separate from God. You don't. And this is why people always talking about God in the third person. They believe that whatever their personality is real. You're identifying with your body, your likes, your dislikes, who this and that. That is not those are all false perceptions coming from electrical signals in the brain. But what you are, where is your life coming from? Instance, it's not separate from the Father. I and my Father are one. And this is only different in degree. That's why he says, I and my Father are one, but my Father is greater than I. And people say, see, Christ can't be God, because how could he say the Father? It's talking about in degree. So it means we're made of the same substance. So there's an ocean that exists, which would be the mother, father, consciousness, the creator, right? And then imagine taking some of that ocean and pouring it into a cup. That's when the infinite becomes the definite. That's when the conception and the conceiver. So another way to say I and my Father is one is to say I am the conception of the conceiver. So I am God's idea manifest, but we can't be separate because I can't separate him from his word and I can't separate him from his idea because there's only one substance to create from. Okay, so we're the same substance. Although I'm not the all by myself, I'm a part of that ocean that comes from consciousness, or what people call God or the creator. But anyway, I want to get into this. So when we talk about identity and these forces on the earth, you know what I'm saying, that the evil so-called that wants to divide, they're selfish, they believe in you know, might is right, draconian rule, hiding secrets, all type of stuff. This goes back, this is the game right here that they're playing. And the whole earth was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick and stone and lime and they for mortar. Now, for those who know, when you hear brick, stone, lime, mortar, this is secret society Masonic language. This is the original builders that was trying to bring humanity together. Stone, whenever you hear words like stone, slime, mortar, builders, master builder, craftsman, artificer, all of these things are the priestly language. So here, this is talking about the temple of man being built. It's called the Tower of Babel. And they said one another, let's go make brick. And they said, go, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto the heavens. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Okay. So these are people coming together to build. This is called unity. That's why I said they spoke with a one. Look around today. What is the main? People think it's skin color that is the biggest separation between people. No, it's not. It's language. You learn to speak in people's language, they will accept you more. Go to China, yeah, they'll look at you weird, but start speaking Chinese and see how much more friendly they get. Right? So, and the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, behold, now listen close. And I want you to get out of your religious mind by thinking that this is the God of the universe talking. This is the priest talking, relating a message. So listen, the people is one and they all have one language, one vibration. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they imagine to do. Now, I know some people, this means unlimited possibility. Once people unite, once people are speaking the same language, that's when the handcuffs come off. That's when the suffering ends. That's when hunger ends. That's when the limitations end, right? And the rulers know this. The so-called evil rulers. So when I talk about getting rid of all religions, and if you want to impress God, unite. I guarantee you, if God is, if the Hebrews took off their fringes, if the Moors took off their fezzes, if the Muslims took off their kufis, if the Christians put their crosses down, right? You think God's gonna get mad? No, if they put all that down and unite it, that's when they will see God. You don't care. Consonants don't care about none of your little idiosyncrasies and nonsense. So right here, it says nothing they imagine to do shall be kept from them. So it shows you that unity is what brings, and we can do the impossible. But you can't have unity with one dude with a fez on, one dude with a McDonald's hat on, one dude with a Burger King hat on, one dude with fezzes on, one dude talking Islam, one dude talking this, unless we show what I showed y'all yesterday, which I'm going to do, unless you learn how to add improper fractions. And I'm going to pull that up again. I went over that yesterday. So let us go down and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Now, brothers and sisters, your religious mind, you've grown an affinity to think that this is the voice of the creator in this book. And that's why you miss the principles, and I know that's why you're disagreeing with me right now, because you don't want to believe that God is wrong. But this is not God. It's a principle being related here. What kind of God, good God, is mad at some people that came together, became unlimited, and anything they can imagine they can accomplish? No, these are the controllers. This is the game given to you. And we can see this playing out till today. So the Lord scattered them abroad and dense upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore, the name is called Babel, because the Lord did confound their language of all the earth, and from thence the Lord scattered them abroad upon the face of the earth. Then you'll realize this is when all this nationality begins. And this is where the Moors get silly, because they don't understand. They're still falling into a systematic system of control. Nationality is one of the biggest problems on the planet. Instead of one humanity like the Tower of Babel, now, since these rulers, and remember, there's always two factions. Yeah, you got the Elohim, but they got two factions. You got the Yahwehs and the Elo, but these are all representing priesthoods and factions. One faction wants to control. Another faction is trying to unify and ascend. Now today, when you go and it says, and the Lord separated these people and all these nations with different tongues and whatever. You look around the earth today, what is the cause of war? Nationalism, the fight for resources. I'm different from you. We're not all speaking the same language. And this is why y'all got the New World Order backwards. They tricked you. Oh, they want us all to be one evil. No, I told you there's always two factions. There's one faction that wants, one world order for control. There's another faction that wants one world order for peace. So the Russians don't have to fight Ukraine. And people are not fighting over resources. They're sharing resources. The kingdom of heaven in the book of Revelation, no one goes up. It comes down. We're already in heaven. All the tools for us to reach perfection and get rid of disease and have world peace and everything is right here. What's in the way? The biggest thing is nationality. Nationality. So when you hear people talking about nationality is the key, they're lost. They're lost. Nationality is the problem. And this is what goes on at the Tower of Babel. Now, some people are going to say, yeah, well, he divided them because they were coming against him. Listen, that's stupid. What can come against God? See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to talk about the nature of God. God don't have no enemies and no problems. So when you're reading these books, talking about people talking about the enemies of God, you're reading a text that's relating principles. God don't have no enemies. How could you be all powerful and have enemies? And how is somebody going to build a tower to the heavens in opposition to you? To the point you don't, all they had to do is strike it with lightning, right? It's like, come on, man, think, people. You got to think about principles here. God don't have no opposition. He has things that's she has things that's out of alignment with the fixed laws or the Torah that's embedded in every aspect of creation. So you can use the word enemy, but it falls short. Like, cupcakes. Is it the enemy of the body? In a sense, but no one told you to put it in there. The body has nutritional laws. You don't break those nutritional laws, you don't have no problem. The universe has law. The trees are governed by law. The animals, the sun, the moon. These are fixed laws. If you're in alignment with God, you ain't got no problems. So no, there's no enemies. How could people get together and God get intimidated by some people building a tower? That don't even make no sense, people. What was they gonna do? Go shoot an arrow at God when they got to the top of the tower? What, they had some guns or something? They gonna start busting some shots? Like, think, people. So we know this is symbolic. This is a principle being related. How the hell some people get together? Oh, we're gonna build a tower to the heavens in opposition to God. And God really feels it. You know, he really gets intimidated. Oh man, there's nothing they can imagine. We don't want them to be unlimited. So you know what we're gonna do? Instead of just zapping them out of existence, which I have the power to do. Y'all see how silly it becomes? What I'm gonna do is create different languages to confuse them and separate them. But when we look at nationality and separation, we can see this is what separates the earth today. This is the hell on earth today. Nationality is literally one causes on earth today. But your boy Noble Drew Ali, and peace to Noble Drew Ali. I think he had some great concepts, but he came talking about nationality at the forefront. And so we see the earth divided. Science tells us, people, there's only one organism called the human family. And the way that this is how you recognize the false gods is dealing with division and separation and favoritism. There's no way consciousness, the highest form of consciousness, is racist. Y'all think about how crazy that is. But see, through this is why earlier today I was talking about the nature of consciousness, because y'all are slandering my mother father through the misunderstanding and misinterpretation of this book. And so religion created atheists. This is why people like Cube exist. You understand? Oh, I didn't have it that whole time, huh? I thought I had a share. I was reading from that verse. But this is why people accuse, because people know that don't make no sense. They don't want nothing to do with the God that y'all are saying exists. Because they know they got more sense than that God. They are more peaceful than that God. But it's not God. It's the priest, social, political. There's a mixture of a social, political agenda in the book and the people. So yes, maybe the Jews wanted Canaan. And they use God a little bit to say, yeah, God told us. No, God ain't never told nobody to go to George Bush tried the same thing. George Bush tried the same thing when they hit the towers. Oh, we get together and he prayed to Jesus and he had all, yeah, we're going to go to war. And God had nothing to do with that in terms of giving someone some exact directions to go to war. That's why I read the first scripture that said, God is all light and there's no darkness in him or variation. And then there's another scripture where whoever Paul is tells you that God is all love and what the fruits of the Spirit is. God is not going around sanctioning wars. If God is sanctioning wars, then who the hell is the devil? So these are all states of consciousness, brothers and sisters. And I want y'all to come to that. And how do we unite? I'm going to show this again, and I showed this yesterday. The universe is mathematical. You hear people talking about mathematics all the time. And I showed this yesterday on my show. Let me see if I can pull this up again. Take y'all back to a little high school. I don't know, this might even be middle school math. All right, let me share my screen real quick. The only way you can truly unite is mathematically. Anybody remember this? What an improper fraction is? Up here, you cannot add or do anything with 5 over 3 or 7 over 5. These are improper fractions, right? When the numerator is higher than the denominator, you have two different denominators. All your belief systems are the improper fractions of numerators. All right, so a Muslim may be a 5, a Christian may be a 7/5, Moor may be 5/3, or Israelite may be 7/5, blah, 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 blah. You can't do nothing with that. So at the bottom, you have to the least common denominator, right? In mathematics. Anybody remember that in school? I forgot. Is this middle school or high school? I can't even remember. So what do? You got to find a multiple of the 3 and a multiple of the 5 that comes to the same number. So 15, if you add 5 to 3, it becomes 15. If you add 5 the 3 on that side, it becomes 15. So that's the number that the first number they'll have in common when you find a number that they both can be multiplied by. Now we have the least common denominator. Now we can add and subtract or divide or whatever. So your belief systems and all your personal opinions and all of that is that top number. And but in order for it to have unity, we got to come to the least common denominator. And that is consciousness itself, our true identity. It goes beyond African, Moor, Israelite. That's why I say our true identity is God itself. There's no its existence. And this is what you are in motion, manifested. But we've been given the gift of a personality or an ego in this experiential world. And God is experiencing the third dimensional world through you. And you are a biological information system. You work just like the internet. This is why God knows everything, because it's connected to everything. Everything you learn, that information, you have an invisible string connected to consciousness. And it is the server of the universe. You know anything about networks? You have a server. That's where everything is getting information and permissions from is a server, and we're all nodes on a network of God. So all that information is going back and forth. It's a relationship, and we're on an internet or a network. But if I cut the power source off, it's all gone. You living in a world of death. If consciousness withdraws itself, there's no life in nothing, including you. So you can't be separate. And that's the consciousness we gotta have. But I want to show y'all one more thing here about that attitude. So people think the story of Jesus is the story of every man, woman, and child. That's why Jesus is always returning. He returns every time somebody is born and the word has become flesh again. Now, let's go to Philippians here. To show you Christ's consciousness. The most misunderstood verse in the history, because religion has took away your power to reason. And they don't want you in personal power, they want you in worship mode. But the real meaning of worship is to work, to get busy. Where is it? Hold on. Okay, here it is. Religion will have you read something and tell your own lying ears that you're lying. That you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're lying ears. But it's pretty clear what Philippians 2 was talking about. This is Christ's consciousness. You even see they had up here the attitude of Christ is what they called it. Why does everyone lie to themselves about what this means in religion? Because they don't want the personal responsibility of not being to blame an outside force. See, we mold and shape reality, people. We have the power of God within us. God is doing this through us. That's why Christ says, all power in heaven and earth has been given to me. We can create whatever we want. It is not me to do it, but the Father that's every one of us can say that. You are unlimited. You can make more money than Jeff Bezos. You can create you can heal disease. The white man has no power. No government has power over you. That's all idols. Because it's consciousness that gives life to everything. So does the government, are we under, and this is what I mean, when you come to Christ consciousness, all victim consciousness leaves. Because it's us that's creating the government, whether we know it or not. We just don't know what we're doing. But no outside force has power over you. That's why it says he that's in you is greater than he that's in the world. The power that creates everything is you. It's your very existence. Once you learn how to harness it, there's nothing you can't do. You will never complain about another man, person, government, European, anything, because you know that the power that you was in control of government. You can literally change the government with your consciousness to mold it and shape it as we want. But when you don't know your personal power, you become a victim of something. God is never a victim. The devil becomes a servant to someone who comes into their Christ consciousness. That's what the devil is. He's not a problem. He's a servant. So look at this. Let this mind which was also in Christ Jesus, who being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. Now they can try to twist that all they want. And I heard them do it for years. Oh, it really don't mean that. Yes, it does mean that. He said, let this mind be in you. Christ didn't think it was robbery to be equal with God, and you shouldn't either. That's what it means, period. Because you are a manifestation of God. Now, don't get into the ego and start thinking you have a separate existence from God. No, you don't. That's the ego. That's the demiurge. The person who wants to rule others and divide others and see it's all about me. But when you have Christ consciousness, you see Christ said, whoever fed one of those have fed me. Whoever clothed one of them have clothed me. How can you literally clothe somebody else and put clothes on me unless I'm really saying that person is me? And so it's a unity consciousness separation. The separation between us, family, is an illusion. If I could block the matrix programming out and you could see the unseen world, you would just see a wave of energy that we call the quantum field. You wouldn't see no your separation from me, and this is the basis of love. When it says love your neighbor as yourself, meaning loving yourself is loving your neighbor because y'all are one thing of one substance. So if I punch him, you've literally punched yourself. And this is why the ancients teach about the control of the mind, because people don't realize whatever you do to someone else, you're doing to God. You're doing to yourself. And it's literally going to manifest in you. In order to hate somebody, it has to come out of you. Think about that. It has to come out of you. So your hate is self-destructive. Your resentment is self-destructive. Whatever you give to someone else, you receive within yourself. That's the power of consciousness. This is why Christ said, pray for your enemies. It's a conscious thing. Not that you let somebody come and just smack you in the face. It's saying, love your brother and sister. You have to get rid of all the lowest emotions in order to be connected with the highest consciousness, which is nothing but pure infinite love. All right? So anyway, who being in the form of God thought it not robbery to be equal with God, but made himself of no reputation. Now I want y'all to realize here that when you hear Christ Jesus, y'all just start thinking about this one person in existence. But listen, that's why, if that's the case, then why did it say, let this mind be in you? Because every one of you are Christ Jesus. So when you're reading this, apply it to yourself. How does this apply to, if it don't apply to you, then what are you even reading it for? But made itself of no reputation. What does that mean? Even though he knew he was God, knew he was of the same substance as the mother father, right? He was still humble because he's seen unity and took upon him the form of a servant. What is that? Are y'all, all of y'all are in the form of a servant. It's called your body. In the form of a servant and was made in the likeness of men. Now the Bible tells you you were chosen before the foundation of the world. This is not your first appearance here. You are a part of consciousness. And what do you look like? Are you in the likeness of men? Are you in bodily form? The word servant is talking about your body, your physical manifestation. And being found in a fashion of man, he humbled himself. Ain't that what we all did too? As people who come from the Father in consciousness, and became obedient unto death and death of the cross. Now, obedient unto death and death of the cross, ain't that what we all doing right now? Ain't we all subject to death, but not our consciousness, not the spirit of God within us that's enwrapped in illusion called the body? Your body is literally being created by your brain right now. That's another subject. And even the death of the cross. I keep telling people the death of the cross. The cross is your body. Stand up, spread your arms out. You're nailed to this body. That the name of Jesus, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth. What does name mean, family? Because some people be going around talking about, in Christianity, we learn that, we pray, we say, in the name of Jesus, or in the name of Allah. Name, family, means nature. When you name something, you are capturing, the ancients were captain of nature or something. You know what I'm saying? It means to enter to nature of that thing. The name described in the ancients, you read the story. If you got the true name of something, you had control over its power. You read that in the Egyptian text where Isis got the true name of Ra, and then and you see Moses saying, "What is your name?" This is the ancient priesthood relating the principle of nature. Once you capture the nature of something, you have the power of that thing if you know the nature of it. That's why you have something called your signature. And
All right, Lex. We gotta shorten it up a little bit because we got a show in 1 hour. Another person lined up, so it's gonna be a part 2 to this. Lex Vortex breaking down some of his ways of how he interpret things when he reads the Bible or different books. You see
no,
what I'm
it's not
saying?
how I
Well,
interpret. Okay.
whose interpretation is it? It ain't mine.
No,
I don't even know what the hell you talking about. No, I'm just messing with you.
that's
But
That's
listen,
God.
that's
That's
oh,
God.
Malamute from Turkey.
That's
That's their
God.
oh,
interpretation.
now I ain't trying to mess the show up, but what I'm
Nah,
saying, we want to open up the panel for about 45 minutes. Then we're gonna get up out of here. Then Lex, I want you to come back and get more into your teachings. Like I say, I
okay.
let everybody come on here and teach what they, what they learn, what they think is right. I'm not judging nobody. I'm just a host. I'm just a humble host. But we got a few people that got a few questions. We got Gideon in the building. You got anything? Then we're gonna go to commission. I'd like to give maybe get in about 3 minutes to go in what you learned from it. Do you have any questions? Or you can go into what you learned and then maybe ask him a question at the end and he'll answer it. And then commission can go into what he gathered from his notes. Go ahead, get in.
Appreciate that, JJ. What's going on? Shalom, to everybody else on the
Right.
panel, to the chat. Man, Lex my man, so I ain't gonna do him like that. But the only thing I would say, man, is that you need to fully repent, bro, and come to the Most High, bro, in the name of Yahshua, and you'll be okay, bro, because it's like you're veering to the left and right. But yeah, but that's your presentation, bro. You had some good points in there, but
Bro,
I ain't gonna deconstruct it too much, bro. I'm gonna let you have your day.
I want you to, bro. If I'm wrong, I want to be corrected. So please correct me specifically on anything I said. I'm willing. I'm not a religious nutbag, bro. So I want you to do that. Unlike y'all, I want you to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, you were saying some good things, man, but you know,
Like,
uh, like when you were saying once we accept the Most High in the name of Yahshua, we do get that spirit of the Most High within us, and we are Elohim. But I'm just fearful of your other messages that go along with that. And when I say fearful, I mean for other people because you like I said, bro, I don't know what you're trying to do out here in these streets, man. But
bro, you
you
ain't saying
you're a
come with
smart
it,
brother.
Gideon. I'm here.
You're a
All I'm
smart
hearing
brother.
is
I'm
I'm
gonna yield the commission at that, bro, because that's more his lane.
here. Okay.
I try to stay with my feet on the ground. Not saying that y'all brothers here, but that's more like a
In other
esoteric.
words, you cannot.
I,
You have to agree. Peace, my brother.
All right. He yielded his minute and 40. Oh, okay. Go ahead, commission. Uh, you know, what did you get out of this? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, and before I start, don't start my time yet. Don't cut into my 3 minutes. You don't talk until I finish talking. So I want to say this here. You can start me now. To the brother, we salute you. The brother that just spoke. What you won't say, yeah, I will say. This is a bunch of truth and falsehood strangely mixed. This is nothing more than atheistic house nigga philosophy, to bring our people into bondage. Western Freemasonry under a cloak. This man here is an initiate of Western Freemasonry. He told me and Judah and all of us that before. So when he's pushing this doctrine of secrecy, That's what he putting out here, family. And we asked the question. I just share my screen briefly. Let me show our family something so that they can get the drawing. He talked about Jesus, as being one that is Lucifer. Now you see it says the fall of Lucifer, how you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how you are cut down to the ground, who weaken the nations. For you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven and assault my throne above the stars of God, and I will also sit at the mount of the congregation, right? On the furthest north. I'm gonna be like the most high, basically, right? So if it says this, how can Jesus be Lucifer when Jesus is said, according to the Christian doctrine, to be sitting at the right hand of the Father, and Lucifer was cast into the pits of hell? Answer that question right there when I get done. Don't cut into the rest of my time. So when we get into that special measure, family, looking at that alone, we can see this brother is very confused. Like I say, he is mixing truth with falsehood. And also, another thing, there's a difference between an Egyptian Shriner and an Egyptian adept. A Shriner conceals secrets, an adept reveals secrets. Look up the word hierophant, and it'll tell you a hierophant reveals secrets. They don't conceal anything. You see? Also, this measure of him saying he's dealing with the Bible and the Quran, he don't speak Hebrew. Neither does he speak Arabic. He don't have to speak it, but he can't even teach you from it. There's nowhere he can show you the word politics or political gain that he spoke of in either the Bible and the Quran. Show that to me in Aaron translation. It's not there. So he lied again. He spoke of two priesthoods, Masonry and Illuminati. But yet he's a Mason. See, he wanted to make you think one is good and one is evil, but they're two sides of the same coin. Then he told you the priesthood are the scientists. Well, if that's the case, then priesthoods of Kemet and all the African priesthoods brought things on the manifest. Why are you teaching this Eurocentric teaching? Because you believe that they are more priests than the ancient.
Time. All right, Ned. I hope you was taking notes because I got my 3 minutes coming up because I got some things to say too. Shout out to Sister Nandy and Honest. Y'all go over to her channel and subscribe to Sister Nandy. Subscribe to Lex Vortex, subscribe to Commission Adapt and all the good people that come to the Lions Den. They got a channel. We got to support each other. That's right. Well, I got my 3 minutes in, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to give my 3 minutes to Commission. Go ahead, Commission. Finish my 3 minutes.
No,
Yes,
no,
sir.
no, no,
Yes,
no,
sir.
no, 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 no,
Hey,
no,
Yeah,
bro.
whoa,
No,
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
whoa, bro.
You
You
spoke
talk,
longer than
whoa,
me
no,
yesterday.
no.
You
bro,
spoke
you
longer
talk
than
for a
me
whole
yesterday
hour
after
now
my
and
Yeah,
club.
I
37
know, but hold
minutes.
on. Nah, this is my
So
show,
I'm
bro.
just getting 3 minutes. It was
I
my
can't get
show
3 minutes.
yesterday.
Nah,
It
you
was my show yesterday. You
you
spoke
just made.
longer than 6 minutes
Yeah, come
No,
on,
yesterday.
no,
bro.
let him
Go ahead.
go.
No,
Lex, what are you
Cause he
scared
had a
of?
right.
no,
Come
no,
on, he building with you. Hold
Yeah,
up.
hold
What
on,
are you
hold on,
scared
hold
of?
on.
Let him
Your
build with
son.
you.
He spoke it and ran and
Hold
jumped off.
on. The
Somebody
brother
mute their
just made.
mic.
The brother just made some comments. I want to
Yeah, but it's my
respond.
turn. But Lex, it's still my turn. The panel.
Whenever anybody else is doing the
You
show,
can't follow the rules,
y'all
bro.
say this is their show.
Go
We got
ahead, Lex. Go ahead, bro.
exactly.
I
Come
can't
on,
get
bro.
my 3 minutes, huh?
Now look. Now he referred to the Lucifer scripture again. It's
Give me 3
symbolism,
minutes, Kareem. Yeah.
and I'm gonna try to cease from his ad hominems. He said that Lucifer was cast into hell. He was, and that's where Jesus went. And Jesus also made himself like the Most High, like it says in the scripture. So he's still symbolically ignorant. He said Lucifer said he was going to be like the Most High, and he was in the sides of the north, which is the right hand of the Father. And then he was
Okay.
cast. Then he was cast into hell. If you go
Yeah.
to First Peter, hold up, because the
Well,
dude is going to get this work. If you
yeah,
go to
but
hold up, brother.
you took over my 3 minutes, man. But go ahead, bro.
If you go, I'm responding to his
All right,
ignorance.
go ahead. Go ahead. Fresh your mind. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
If you go to First Peter in 3, Jesus was in hell preaching to the captives in hell. All right. So when he says Lucifer was cast, that's childish. Cast where in the hell? Hellfire? You believe in hellfire? A place that we gonna go burn forever? You silly ass nigga. No, ain't no goddamn hell, nigga. That's Catholic. Stupid. So when you're reading, you're still reading symbolism. And who weakened the nations? The Lord weakened the nations. Jesus Christ, stupid, the power of God. Because the book tell you the devil can't do nothing. He ain't got no power. So who brought down nations? And it wasn't literally God bringing down the nations, like pressing a button saying, I'm mad at them, I'm going to bring them down, ignoramus. When they violated the laws of nature, they self-destructed, stupid. And then the nigga gonna say, where is politics, the word politics in the Bible? Now, ain't that the most ignoramus thing I ever heard? Just because you don't find a word for politics in the Bible, in any form of society you go to, you dealing with politics. If you go to the hood, there's politics. That's the dealing with people. When you go to the job, you dealing with politics. When you're dealing with government, you got to deal with the interactions and behavior of people. Dumbass. It ain't really, politics ain't just Republican and Democrat and those names. Politics, you got people say what? What you about to do, man? I'm about to go politic with my friends. Or I'm about to go politic with my boss. So you don't need the word politic in the Bible, dumbass. That's just stupid. This is what I'm talking about. So then I read that he was called the day star, but he still have a childish mind thinking Lucifer is a dragon that fell from heaven. Did Christ not come from heaven? That's a fall. Symbolically. When you come from somewhere and you come down, even in the Gospels, Christ said, I am from above. I come from my Father.
And
so that's all childish.
Time.
It's all childish.
Time. All right, Kamisha, go ahead. We're going to bump it up to 4 minutes, man, because both of y'all kind of long-winded. I'm going to let y'all go back. I got one thing before we start this clock, man. I got a question.
Hold on, JJ. I didn't know that.
Bro. I'm part of the show, man. I mean, I know.
I'm saying, I didn't know.
I'm not getting involved. You know, I'm staying out there.
I didn't know I was coming to have a debate with Kamisha.
But look, we will have structure. Listen, it's not a debate, but what we're doing here, because we can't.
Yeah, you
can't
didn't
do a
tell me
regular
he was coming on.
We can't do it,
here,
bro.
He was just on here. All I'm saying.
He want to run now, JJ.
Yeah, come on, man. Let him speak. You got to continue.
He spoke a whole hour in the mic.
Hour 37 minutes.
You know,
come on,
man. I got to call him out his name. He got mad because I said house nigga philosophy.
All right, hold on now. Okay, so come on. It's a good show now. Kamisha, you got 4 minutes.
All right. Hey, Kareem, mute him out if he try to unmute. And if he speak over me, kick him off of the panel. He's gonna run now.
Kick me off. Hold up. No, I don't want to talk to this dude no more. No, listen, hold on. No. I don't. Hey, JJ.
Say what you
Anybody else? And when Baby Hebrew went on them and they say, get him out of here, you get him out of here. Ain't this my show? Get him out of here, bro. I don't want to talk.
He did what he do?
And he's coming here.
I said house nigga philosophy.
He's interrupting the bill. I don't want
to. Well, ain't nobody asking no more questions. Let him end it and then. No, you hold up. We about to end this because if you're not allowing people to ask questions, and we already talked about this before, and you didn't have a problem. Now you just want to hurry up and get him off. No, you knew he was gonna ask questions. We talked about.
Why you want to ask?
No.
Okay.
I am talking. We already talked about this. And you said it was okay for him to ask questions. Do not sit there and start it. If not, we about to end this and go to the next show. Period. You already had an hour and 40-some minutes going.
Okay, Queen. Okay, he left.
No, he didn't. I put him in the back. He coming back, but I'm talking.
Okay.
He gonna interrupt me while I'm talking.
Right, go ahead, Kamisha. Get your 4 minutes, man. I can't believe Lex acting like this. Get your 4 minutes in, Kamisha.
No. Just let Lex go.
No. He's not going to change the rule. Look. That man, he can ask questions.
4 minutes is not a question, JJ. 4 minutes is not a question.
Bro, you came and spoke an hour into my bill yesterday. That was my show, bro. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, you did.
You jumped off.
Yeah, you did.
What are you talking about?
Lex, come on, man. Don't do that,
What
man.
you scared of?
You and a whole bunch of other people, and he took it,
What you
and
scared
he
of?
wrote the notes down, and he took them. He didn't have to respond every time somebody respond. He wrote it down, and he responded to everybody accordingly. He
And
didn't
I didn't
sit there and do you
know.
like you doing him.
I didn't
Go
You're,
ahead,
know.
you're
Commissioner.
emotional. I don't know whether you got a crush on this guy, but you're obviously biased and emotional. All I'm saying
Okay.
If
is,
they buy, if
All right,
anything, it would
come on,
be
man.
if
You
any,
would,
Let's just
you
distract.
would
Okay, put
change.
Lex in the back.
JJ,
Kareem,
I
put Lex
asked,
in the back until
hold on,
the man
JJ,
get done with
bro,
something
bro,
else.
I asked you,
You wrong,
we
bro.
was talking about doing a show where I can
This
come
is a
on,
show.
I know, unmolested,
Okay,
and I'm
okay, hold on. Listen, you won't even let me talk. Okay, so if I remove this clock, can this man speak until he get done and say, I yield the floor? No, that's not going to happen with you. You're going to jump in with something that you don't like instead of writing down the notes, bro. Now, you knew commissioners going to ask you questions like you asked him questions yesterday. Come on, man.
what question did he ask me?
I don't remember yesterday. Shit, that was
No, he
yesterday.
didn't ask me a question today. He came on here
He wants to, okay, so
You did the same thing. You didn't ask no questions. You was talking. So stop it. You was talking. Let's not pull it up.
I start off, pull it up,
right.
pull it
So
up,
he can't
pull it
critique
up.
your
Hold
information,
on,
bro.
pull
4
it up.
minutes of critiquing?
I started off asking him 2 questions.
Bro,
And then
you
I went
showing up the time. We on
You
a
started
timetable,
off trying
bro.
to teach. You
Grim, we gotta
started
put him
off
in the
trying
back.
to
Grim,
teach.
we gotta put him in the back. Gotta
You
put him in the
started
back.
off trying to
All right,
teach.
hold on, Grim. You come on. I can't believe you do acting like this, man. And you can say, JJ, let me do a show. When you come up with different information, you know how it is in the lines. Then somebody's gonna have some questions. Somebody's gonna critique it. Gideon was being nice. He said, "Well, but damn, man, you and Commission go back and forth all the time. So what's the shock? Go ahead, Commission."
Because he knew he was going to get the crying. That's why.
Yeah, that man is disingenuous, family. I went to speaking, and you might as well let me ride like he rode if you want to. But my thing is this guy.
Yeah, ride out, man.
He
Ride
done
out.
called me. He called me out my name now. He got mad because I said he teaching house nigga philosophy after he drugged the Hebrew doctrine. He drugged the Moorish doctrine and everybody else doctrine through the mud, and we supposed to listen to that. You see what I'm saying? And we supposed to eat that. But then when we say something about what he teaching, then he call you everything but the child of God. I don't go there. I don't got to talk tough guy language. We're going to deal with this information. So like I said.
Wait, hold on. Go run over there and cry about he got kicked out. How about that?
Yeah,
Go run over there. Tell him to start a live so y'all can talk about it. Because I don't give a fuck.
All right, come on, y'all.
So
Lex Vortex on the shelf. Come on, man.
So basically, what happened with this guy, he goes out here saying, well, I don't believe blacks are Asiatic, off of what his opinion is. The general opinion of men would never alter the nature of the truth. You see, and then he's talking about the Quran and the Bible, bashing it, but yet using teachings from it. Allah is nearer to man than his very own jugular vein. Moses said, I am, and I'm speaking the doctrine of I am. This is a two-forked tongue speaking philosophy that he's demonstrating here. Truth and falsehood strangely mixed. This man is a closet mason. He worship at the shrine of the European. You see, he's a phallus worshiper in the closet. That's what he demonstrates. So I asked him, show me what the words politics or political are mentioned in any one of them translation of them books. Everybody that know them books know that you ain't gonna find no political gain and politics mentioned in those books. That's his interpretation. So when you deal with the concept of the priests being scientists, if this is so, then why don't you honor the ancient scientists of Kemet, the ancient scientists of Africa? You out here pushing European science when you dealing with atheism. You out here dealing with what we call the Hermetic hypotheses. You following the philosophy of the troglodyte nigger. And then you go and you say masonry was Egyptian. Show me anywhere in the Medu Neter where it mentions Scottish Rite or York Rite masonry in Egypt or Sumer. Egypt or Sumer. Show me where it mentioned that. You ain't gonna find it. This guy's a liar, he's a scammer, and he's trying to deceive the people. And also, sacred and secret is two different things, bro. Sacred is something that you preserve in purity. secret is something that you keep from someone else. You see? So then when you go into that, he acknowledges I am. He quotes Moses saying I am, but he rejects the Bible. You know, and then he turns around, like I said, he says Jesus is Lucifer. But if the Bible teaches in its translation that Lucifer was cast into the hells, this is what the Bible teaches. I don't care how you try to interpret it. The general opinion of men will never alter the nature of the truth. So if the Bible says Jesus is at the right hand of the Father, it never said that Lucifer went into the right hand of the Father. Show me that in the book. Show me that in the book now. And then he said that Jesus was a part of a secret society. And yet the Gospels are not written, you know, by the said authors. And Jesus was a mystic. So if the Gospel was not written by these authors, you know, and these Gospels aren't true, then how in the world is Jesus a mystic according to your interpretation? Because he was spoke of first in those doctrines. And show me in the Bible or the Quran where it states Jesus was a mystic. Show me in any holy book where it says that he was a mystic. Now, you know, I know the mystic teachings and teach on a mystic level all the time. This is what we do. But this man has mixed New Age philosophy, and it is basically closet, porch, house, Negro masonry, or the European, and you can't really be that unless you're white, 21, and a grown man. And you always been called boy if you're a slave. So when you deal with these teachings of the Hebrew text and the Quranic text, that is the true book. I ain't talking about the translation. A translation and an actual text is two different things. So your problem is you have taken this European as your most worshipful master, and you are worshiping him in the closet, mixing him up with your deities of voodoo, and talking about you dealing with African philosophy. At one time, you was an atheist, teaching atheism. Now you're trying to say you're a Christian mystic. You're a branch hopping NBC Negro Mason is what you is. Trying to present this doctrine to the manifest, and then gonna try to talk like you bringing unity to the manifest. So if you bring in unity, then you would have honored the measure that we was demonstrating yesterday, because it was dealing with uniting the people. But you want to bring your Luciferian doctrine up in here and try to compare it to mine and tear down a measure, and you didn't even know I had already spoken on what you said before you spoke on it. That's why Karima laughed at you. Even the chat was laughing at you. You a clown, and you an agent provocateur. We know who you are. We know who sent you. You are of your father, the devil, and the works of your father you do. You see? So we don't want to hear that garbage you talking about. You know, and then you're going to come in here and run on my show. I'll let you go, and then you don't even want to go back and forth with me. And we said this before the show opened up, before we went live. You understood, talking about you didn't know I was going to be here. I didn't know you was going to be here yesterday. Come on, man, you a hypocrite. You know, so with that being said, this guy's a scammer. He lying to you, and all that stuff he talking about is garbage. What his view is to come in here and on every platform and try to get our people away from standing on what they stand on. If enough people follow him, he gonna reveal his true head as the snake that he is. That's what he is. Period. So that's all I got to say, family. And I ain't mad at it. I ain't upset with it. I just hate for the people to get out here to try to tear down. Every time you're trying to build a pyramid of unity to help our people, you have a Negro like this come behind the measure being demonstrated to tear it down and act like he's trying to bring unity. You know, you like the one that the Quran mentioned, you claim to bring mischief, but you blind, deaf, and dumb, and you causing confusion. That's what the Quran say about people like you. And also, you want to call a measure dealing with infinite consciousness. So if you're dealing with infinite consciousness, then the Quran mentions intelligent design, because it says his design comprehended the heavens and the earth. So how you gonna talk about consciousness and not acknowledge intelligent design and the God that designed it? So when I get on here, I represent all of our people. I ain't going at him because he attacked the doctrine. I'm getting at this guy because he is a clown. I'm getting at this guy because he's trying to fleece the people. And I know better. When you know better, you can do better. Peace and love and honor to everybody. Honor to the Hebrews. Honor to the Muslims. I'm not a Muslim. For those who may think that, no, I'm not a Muslim. You see, honors to all of those in the Moorish groups, honors to the 5%, the NOI, whatever it is you represent. I ain't got no problem with you. That always been my doctrine. I've been teaching it for 30 years. And every time I get up here, I'm going to teach the unity of our people, regardless of who don't like it, regardless of who is against it. I'm going to always show the bridge that unite us. I ain't going to never show you nothing that tear us down. I ain't going to never show you nothing that divide us. When you see me go like this, I'm going at the enemy of my people. And I see him as the enemy of my people. That's why I'm giving him this smoke. Not because of what he believes in. So with that being said, peace to the Shabbat Alahayim. That's what we represent over here. You see what I'm saying? That's what that flag represents. It's a unity between our people. Everybody unite upon the seven. He said that ain't no math out there that bring oneness in the being. The seven is the thing we all unite upon. If you take the seven and you move from the center to the out and bounds, what is 4 and 3? 7. If you go further outside of those numbers, what is 5 and 2? 7. If you go further out of that, 6 and 1 is what? 7. See, that's how you demonstrate unity in mathematics. Don't play with me. Peace and love, family. This guy right here. Man. What you gonna do with him, Judah?
You gonna come back and close it out? Lex, go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, I'll try to close this out with some honor and integrity. As y'all see, like I said, man, we arranged this show. I had no problem with him coming on. The brother was on the show before we even started the show. When I came in it, so I was like, I didn't even know. So, and we could see he came with vitriol in his heart. So he has a lot of growing to do. He sat here and lied and misrepresented. Now I'm a scammer and a house digger and all this. And he misread. First of all, I was never an atheist. Lie number one. So, and anyone that knows me know I teach about how consciousness guided creation. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's just ridiculous. Then, and so with that being said, that's how I lay it down. Y'all seen my perspective and point of view. It's obvious this is supposed to be a debate league and not about any certain religious perspective, but obviously is dominated by Bible believers, so they're biased and they get offended. I was not here. The brother said I said there was no way to unite mathematically. That's another lie. No, I showed how you unite mathematically. Talking about the number 7 is stupid. I said you got to find the least common denominator for people. I did not come on here and tear down anybody's stuff. I gave a perspective that we should study the wisdom in these books and be in knowing what's political. And so the brother didn't know what politics is. He didn't ask no questions. Like, okay, I heard what you was teaching. This right here, brother, this is what I want you to explain to people and show me how what I was saying was false. That's what I meant by I didn't know we was just going to have. I have no problem with the debating this chicken bucket motherfucker being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the one who went to JJ and said, yo, let's get it in. So there's no fear of this fuck nigga. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I was very respectful through this whole thing. I wasn't here being disrespectful. It's just people can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? And so nothing I said has been disproven. And then when they gave him the opportunity just now, he used his opportunity to insult me. Oh, he's a scam artist. He's a mason. He's worshiping the phallic. He hasn't dealt with any of the information I brought up about Philippians 2, John 1 and 1, the light, us falling from a state in body in the flesh, the word becoming flesh, the symbolism of the priest, all this stuff I brought. That's what I was saying in terms of there's no questions. Now, if this fuck nigga want to debate, we can debate. Let's set it up. But dog, you's a bitch, nigga. I'm gonna tell you that now.
All right. Okay.
Bitch,
See now.
nigga.
All right. Let's.
You being on here coming. I always gave this brother respect,
okay,
bro.
bro,
Even when I disagreed with him, you know what I mean?
Okay, both of
No,
y'all got it.
let him go, because I'm going to let Commission get it in too.
Yeah, and so.
But no, I gotta set something up. If y'all really want to debate, or if y'all just somebody just I ain't gonna say who, but if somebody just doing the ad ham, so the other person get mad, and then you don't debate.
That's
That is
all.
bro, you don't even let me speak. I don't do that. Look, I come on your platform. I come on your platform, bro. I sit there, right?
I want to
And one
debate
day I
him.
sat there so long, he forgot I was even on the goddamn platform.
JJ, I want to debate him in the flesh, and I set it up, bro, for you to bring him down here.
Oh, well, can we do a
No, that ain't happening.
that might not turn out good, man.
Oh, it's gonna turn out good.
Cause y'all both calling each other ad mother suckers.
Hey, I ain't cursing, man.
Come on, man.
This is the stuff.
Hold up, bro. Just hold on. Let me say something real quick.
I want to debate you in person, bro. And I want you to keep that same energy right there.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. We ain't gonna do that, y'all.
This is what I'm talking about.
I ain't cursing nobody.
This is what I'm talking about, JJ.
Listen, I ain't cursing him out of nothing. I want to debate you. I want to debate you in person.
So this is what I'm saying,
I'll
JJ.
send you the ticket. I'm gonna send you the ticket. I want to debate you in person. I want JJ to be here. I'm gonna have everybody here, and I want to debate you in person. I want you to keep that same energy right there.
Okay. Anyway, JJ, this is the stuff I'm talking about, and then people will try to say,
I can come the way you at.
The brother.
All right, hold on. Can I finish? I was talking.
Hold on,
I
JJ.
was talking.
This is what I'm saying.
I've been giving you a lot of passes, bro. Every time I talk, you cut me off. I mean, come on, bro. Like I said, last time I was on your platform, I sat there for about 45 minutes. You forgot I was on the panel. I was listening and being quiet. He said, "Oh, you?" And when I said something, he's like, "Who is that?" Like, bro, it's JJ. And I said, "You see, you can learn from me. You sit down, be quiet sometimes, let people speak." But all I'm saying, man, we don't see. This is what I'm noticing around the community. Like I picked over at Sarnetta today, Garfield and Jabari. They over there arguing about, "Oh, you insulted me. No, you insulted me. I'm not gonna debate you till you apologize. I'm not gonna debate you." Boy, hey man, it's getting like some sensitive skin around the debate circles, boy. Everybody wants an apology. You know, I mean, if you add homonym, that's all right, but just don't take it to a personal level where now we talk about bitches, MS, where your location. Then that just defeats all the information that you just put out there. It just turned whatever you put out that you want people to listen to and connect to. The last thing that people are going to remember is not your information, but the shenanigans. You see, and then that takes away from your build, bro. But you cannot be scared to let somebody ask questions or critique your information. You said a lot. You said to me, Lucifer was Jesus. So is Jesus and the serpent in the garden? Excuse me. Is Lucifer and the serpent in the garden the same being? I mean, that's just a rhetorical question. I mean, you said a lot of things, bro. So this is why we was like, okay, we'll let the man kind of go over some of the things that he heard. He wrote down, but you know, okay, let's leave it alone. So if y'all, what would be the topic?
Hold on, JJ, real quick.
Come on, bro.
Damn, god damn, that's.
I mean, are you serious, bro? You would never let me come on your platform and talk for an hour.
Nigga, if you come on my show,
bro.
If I give you a show, yeah, you can talk as long as you want, bro.
Okay, well, listen, bro, this is my show, so you can't give me this. So let me speak, bro. See, you answered your own question. All right. Now, all I'm just trying to do so we can wrap this up, man. I don't want to turn into this.
But JJ, I just want to respond to what you said, if you don't mind, sir. Because you said some things like, oh, you said a lot of things. You said Lucifer was this. No, I didn't, bro. I pulled out the scripture, and this is what I'm saying. This is how you answer a question. Lex said Jesus was Lucifer. I also went to a scripture that said, when the day star arises in your hearts, and I showed you what the word day star meant, and it means Lucifer.
Does it mean Jesus Christ?
Who's the day star?
All this, bro, can I speak, bro? All this mix and match and
See what
blue
I'm
gotta be
saying?
purple. Bro,
Exactly.
you don't even let nobody express themselves, bro. I gave you a whole hour and 50 minutes to a whole hour and 40. I can't even get 5 minutes to speak. Is that fair to me? No. So, bro, I'm trying to see, Commission, what would you debate this guy on?
Look, hey JJ,
Yeah.
just being straight up. I ain't got no more debating this man say he don't want to come
Right,
see
okay,
me in
yeah.
person and,
Right.
and talk about this here. So that's all it is. He don't want to come see me in person. He don't want to stand in the flesh. I don't want to talk about nothing.
I get it. I get it.
You feel
Okay,
me?
well, I try for people.
Hold up. Don't take that as no threat. Because I ain't made no threat on him.
Yeah.
I just said I want him to come here and keep the same energy he got. I ain't made no threat to that man. I ain't even called him out his name. I said he was teaching house nigga philosophy. That's what I said. Just like he spoke against the Hebrew and the Moorish teaching. And then he came using all that disrespectful language. Now time did I use N-word in that? Because I don't talk like that. You feel me? I don't get gangster behind the internet. So what I'm saying is, I want you, JJ, if you want this to be any topic he want, and I want him to come in. I'm talking about just dealing with the knowledge, but I want him to come with that same energy right there when he bringing that knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You feel me?
Yeah.
The same exact energy. I want you to bring that energy in the flesh. Yes, sir. And I'm gonna show you what commission stand on. And that's all I got to say, bro. I don't make threats.
All right, everybody out there listening and viewing land, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the little ending there. It got kind of a little rough, but we are a work in progress over here. This is the Lions Den. It ain't soft over here, you know what I'm saying? But we got to do better. We got to learn to communicate with each other better. We got to learn if they say a little words. You don't get too mad. Take it out on them in the debate. That's what I do to them. Now I'm not saying you two, but we got a lot of debaters out here. Like I just peeked in on Sarnetta. They're wasting a whole hour and a half, Jabari and Garfield, trying to make each other apologize to each other. Or the debate ain't gonna happen. I'm like, what is this shit? Y'all did this last year when y'all supposed to debate. So we got to do better, man. So Lex, let's just leave it alone. I find Q wants to debate you. I like to see maybe you and Q get in the ring. And then Commission, I'm trying my best to get Smash Rockwell over here. We want to see who knows Metanetta better. That rhymed, didn't it? Who knows Metanetta better? Commission at that Herafont or Jonathan Smash Rockwell? You know, so sometimes when you try to pair two people up, it just don't work out, man. It happens in life, you know. So I'm gonna pair these people.
Hold on, JJ. Nanny, I'm talking to whoever the fuck that don't like it here. They can get the fuck up out of here. You feel me?
You can't grow like that, JJ. But anyway, JJ, man,
okay,
peace,
but
man.
I got cut off. Oh, come on, just let me finish this. Hold up. I don't know what's going on in the audience that I can't see. But see what I'm saying? Come on, y'all. We're here for the information. I'm gonna find somebody for you, Lex. I would like you and Q. I think that's interesting. I seen y'all dialogue the other day. Let's set that up. Can we do that, Lex? Can we do that? You and Q?
Yeah, I would have to talk to Cube about it. It's possible. Yeah, I
Okay.
have to talk to Cube.
And I'm working on getting Smash over here. So, Commissioner, you get the last 1 minute close, and then we're gonna let Lex close out the show.
Why is he getting a closing, bro, on this show, bro?
We do that all the time. Everybody on the panel get to say 1 minute in the personal show. They get to say something, bro. Why are you scared of him to speak?
Put him in the
Bro,
right
I'm looking dead. I'm seeing through this, bro. You are scared of this man and his information, but you want to call him out.
No,
I mean, that's how it's looking at me. I'm outside looking in, bro. I'm for real.
He got some person on his chest. It go beyond the information, Jay.
Yeah, man. I know all this whole hidden
we ain't
secret
gonna go
knowledge
there.
shit, man. All
You
right, go
address
ahead, Commissioner. Get you
before
1
this
minute in this.
conversation
Then
right here.
Lex gonna get him a 2-minute
He got
closeout.
some pressure on his chest. So put him in the back if he interrupt me, Kareem. So basically, what it boiled down to, family, is I'm gonna keep bringing this information to us, and I'm gonna keep checking them individuals because commission like to bring information so our people can get it. I ain't trying to convert you to what I believe in. I ain't trying to convince you of what I stand on. My whole measure is unity among our people. And I'm passionate about that. And I know who is for my people, and I know who is against my people. That's what I stand on, period. You know what I mean? So when it comes to that, family, we're going to bring this truth to you. And anybody that challenged this information where I'm trying to bring unity to my people, I want all the smoke. JJ and Kareem know it was a time where I didn't even want to engage in these type of conversations. But at this point right here, I got to deal with these individuals to separate the wheat from the chaff, to show you the clean glass as opposed to the dirty glass. I don't care about your cheerleading team and everybody riding with you because they feel like they down with you. That don't mean nothing to me. The general opinion of men would never alter the nature of the truth. And that's all I got to say, family.
All right, let me say something to the audience real quick. Like I say, I don't know what's going on, Sister Nanny. I haven't said anything to you. I don't know if you've seen one of your ops in the audience. I mean, I ain't got nothing. I mean, I've got disagreements with
Hold
people.
on. It ain't got nothing to do with you though. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I said what I said to the audience, to people. She felt froggish and said something. You ain't gotta get involved in this. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I said what I said to the whole audience. She had something to say, but she steady directing her attention towards you. But like I said, you can get at me about it.
Right. That what you see live here,
What are
that's
you
not
talking
me
about,
typing.
bitch? Ain't no motherfucking punks up in this motherfucker.
Okay, come on.
You
Listen.
came up in this motherfucking cheerleading for him, not me.
Okay, let me finish this. I mean, I don't know what I did. I'm just trying to host the show, get peace. I don't know why you mad at me, Sister Nandy. I didn't do nothing. Now, if you seen the pod here, listen. You can. I am not gonna hold a grudge against nobody for fucking ever. I'm not. That's just not me and that's not my character. I got into a goddamn probably everybody in the lines den and outside the lines den. But you come back around full circle and you try to move on and get the information out. I'm not gonna be no perpetual enemy to nobody for the rest of my life, man. So I'm not responsible for what people say neither. I'm tired of people putting that on my head when other people say things they blaming JJ. I'm just me. I'm human like y'all. I can't control what the next man say. I mean, so if it's something that I said, I don't know what I said, Sister Nanny. Me and you good. Now, hey, I apologize. I don't have no problem with if I see. Sometimes I guess I be offending people, not even being known. So I'm glad I looked in the audience. But go ahead, Lex. Finish out the thing.
Hold on, let me finish up what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I said this to anybody, whoever got a problem, anybody. But she felt froggish. Nah, bitch, you would never get the chance to come up in there and run your motherfucking mouth. See me in my motherfucking back chat, ho.
All right, family. The purpose of this show really today was, people ask me a lot of questions, and I just want to come and clear up, at least so people know where I'm coming from. It really was not contentious at all before a certain energy showed up. So the proof is in the pudding. What you see happening right now is not the vibration I came with. And I don't think people wasn't feeling that before a certain energy showed up. So that will tell you who the devil is. So right now, when certain energy and vibration that I'd like to change, this was not the purpose. This is not what I brought. I told y'all consciousness is infinite love, and everyone has some maturing to do. And so I just wanted to lay down my perspective because people always say, what's going on with the dark side? And why are you teaching the Bible, but yet you say burn the Bible and all this stuff? So, this was the purpose of me coming here. And really, that's why I said JJ, because whenever I hit the panel sometime, I really don't get to express that. So that was the purpose why I said, well, JJ, let me get my own show and so when I got on here before the show started, Chicken Buckethead was on here. You know what I mean? So I have really no problem with that brother either. At the end of the day, I still love him. You know what I'm saying? So let's just change the energy, y'all. The purpose is, the purpose was not to get here. So people that brought that energy might want to check themselves, because that's how we got here, not through me and my vibration. So think about how we got here. And that's what I mean by the proof is in the pudding in terms of what vibration someone is walking in. So Nandy is cool. You know, people have some maturing to do. Everyone calm down. You know, it's all good. It's all love. Let's keep the vibration high. You know what I mean? And recognize the devil when it shows up. That's all we got to do. And you can recognize that by the energy. So, JJ, shout out to you and Karima for letting me on the show. All people got to do just go to the parts of the information, y'all, before we got to the end, before the devil showed up and brought this energy. And then anybody out there who was watching, who truly wants, because like I said, I'm open to challenges to what I was saying. That's what I was expected. So any Hebrew, Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, or whatever, I would appreciate you come with a truthful challenge, question to whatever I presented, and I'm willing to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep the vibration high, peace and love. Thanks for y'all letting me come on. It's all good, man.
All right, yeah, you welcome to come back and finish, do part 2, 3, 4. This is open for everybody, man. Like I say, I know. See, here's the thing: a lot of us come from different walks of life, so we're gonna bump heads sometime. But all I'm asking y'all, if I ain't said nothing, or you don't see me banging, and you bang with somebody, don't put me in the middle of that shit. I got my own battles to fight. You know, I don't want nobody mad at me for nothing. Be different if I did something, you know. But that comes with the territory. Like I said, peace and love. Y'all come back in 15 minutes. We got the Hebrew Killers coming in the building. They coming back. JT and Malachi. The title is We Want Drama. We want drama, but we don't know how to handle it, or something like that. I done messed it up probably, but once the notification come up, they're gonna tell you the title. Peace and blessings, y'all. Thank you, Lex. Thank you, Champion Commission. Thank you, Queen Karima. Thank you, everybody in the audience. We love y'all. We out. One.
Yeah, when you start questioning the truth, that's when people start getting upset. They don't want you to question their information, so they start acting like a spirit, energy, and everything came up in here. No, you summon your demons in the audience, and you start getting rowdy just like them. Being disrespectful, disrespecting people's religions and beliefs. You ain't gotta believe in it. You ain't gotta understand it or anything. But what you not gonna do is come up in here and be very disrespectful because you don't care too much about what they believe in.
Exactly.
Being disrespectful. And you call yourself educated, but these words that you use to identify the hate that you have for Jesus.
Right. And then
like, come on now, y'all sick.
Right. And then try to act like he a Christian mystic at the same time. And see, that's the thing. He want to get in here now and try to act like he an angel. I ain't got mad now time. I just brought passion to it and told him I want to debate him in person. I ain't cursed nobody out. I said house nigga philosophy. I stand on that because he said everything he had to say about what it is we stand on. He was calling me out my name in his presentation. So that's the demonic aspect. He just got upset because I called him out on what I called him out on. And I did ask him the question. Oh, he talking about I didn't ask a question. I asked him, how is it that Jesus can be Lucifer? And at the same time, that's what I asked him. I put the scripture up there. You see what I'm saying? So when it come down to that, this man a Mason, I proved that he was. He was basically trying to promote Masonry. The good Masons that he was trying to allude to, that's what he's supposed to be part of. He wants you to believe the Illuminati is the bad Masons, but he part of the good Western Freemason. And so he's the Luciferian. Then how you gonna quote the Quran in the Bible, Karima, and at the same time destroy it? We got a teaching over here where we say if the prophet ain't right, the government ain't right. So in other words, if the Bible ain't right, then Jesus ain't right. So how you gonna be a follower of Christ and then go against the Bible? You can't do that. If Christ ain't right, then the Bible ain't right. So how you gonna claim to be a follower of the Bible and you don't follow Christ? So this is what I'm saying, why I say this guy's a scammer. He out here misleading these people. He want to talk like he about keeping the peace. You didn't stir my ethers up. I ain't mad at all, because I don't get mad over the internet. Like I said, I want to talk to you in person, and I want you to have that same energy. I want you to talk that same talk. You see, I ain't got the intent to do nothing to you, but I want you to talk that same talk, though. I ain't got no intention of you. If you come and you accept this in person, I ain't got no intent to do that, but I want you to talk that same talk, though, that you talked on here.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
So it ain't a beefing thing. I ain't making no threat.
That's what people want a person to do. Take it there instead of accepting
Yeah, but like I
shit,
said,
getting checked.
I ain't making no threats though, Karima. I'm just saying, if we're dealing with the information, let's deal with the information. If you got a problem the way you can't let nobody speak, or you don't want somebody to respond to you, yet I let you run a whole hour on my platform and didn't say nothing. My show got
because he asked a question and he interrupts you every time. That's the reason why he got put off, because he steady kept talking and interrupted. He didn't allow him to even answer any question. And y'all can go back to the last video.
Every time, and my show got turned into a whole nother show, and I still didn't cut in on people. You understand?
But he knew you was coming on. Let's make that clear. He knew you was on. Y'all was waiting in the back chat. I'm sitting there watching. So he knew, and we talked about it before we went live, that you was gonna ask him questions.
Right. So I want to tell the people this, and this is for the people. Anybody out here who listened to what it is we brought forth,
close it out. We about to, close it out.
All right, yeah, we ain't about the contention and all that right there. We ain't about beefing and none of that, family. It's all love. I'm gonna keep bringing this information to unite the people, but I'm gonna keep exposing these individuals when they challenge us on this information. That's all it boiled down to. Peace and love, honors to the Shabbat Alahayim, and that's it, family. Peace.